Hi, this is Keir from Shopify. Today we're going to have a look at loops in Liquid. Okay, so what are loops? Well, loops allow us to output a collection of items until there are none left to output. Now let's have a think how that might be in Shopify. Well, one thing that we can loop over, and we often need to loop over, are variants. And I have 3 variants set up for my coffee grinder. And these are represented down here in a little select box. Now we enter those in the admin, in the inventory and variants section, and you see I've got a black, a chrome and a red. Now we can use Liquid to output all of those variants on our product page, and we can also use Liquid to indicate whether maybe that variant is sold out, or we can show it that it's sold out, or simply not include it. So loops allow us to, as the name suggests, start at the beginning and work our way round until we've got none left to loop over. That might sound a little bit complicated, so let's have a look in some code and show you how easy it really is. Okay, so as I said there, we've got some variants. Now that's on our product.liquid template, which I've got open here in my text editor. Now I'm just going to make some space to show you where the actual looping occurs. Now you'll always know when a loop's happening by the use of the keyword here for. And now this isn't an output, it's logic, so you notice that we've got the curly brace and the percentage syntax in effect here. So what we're actually saying is for every variant in product.variants, so for all the variants that are associated in this product, what we want to do is loop over them, and if, moving on to the next slide, if that variant is available, and that's represented here by if variant.available double equals for the comparison there is true, then let's put out some markup here, the option value. But if it's not, and that's represented here by else, then let's still put out an option value, make sure it's disabled, and then say it's sold out. A couple of things to note: we always have to end our end if statement here, which is asking the question if it's true, and we always have to end our end for. That's for our for loop. Now what's going to happen here, we've got 3 variants for our coffee grinder, so that will loop over each one in turn. Now it's worth noting what this particular keyword variant does. It doesn't have to be variant. This is literally just a container for that particular product during that particular loop. I could easily call this, well, I could call it Kia. I could call it, product underscore variant. It really doesn't matter, but what you must remember is when you're outputting some information relating to that particular product, this is the keyword that you will use in front of things like .title and .price. It's really a container for that particular product during that particular loop. Hopefully that makes sense. Once you've done it a few times, it really does start to solidify. Okay, so let's say I didn't want to show this particular sold out option. Actually, let me go and add one of these to be sold out. So I'm just going to edit the red variant here, and I'm actually going to say we've got 0 inventory. Okay, so save and close. Now if I just refresh and go down again and open up my select there, you'll see that the red one has it's output the red sold out, so it's actually disabled that particular option value for us. Maybe you don't want that to happen. Maybe you just want the black and the chrome ones to appear because they're the only ones that are available. That's not difficult to do. Once we've asked the question, is the variant available, we can take out the else clause. So let's just delete the else, and let's delete the sold out option there, and just go those back. So all I'm asking now is if it's available, then output the particular variant details. If it's not, just carry on with your loop. So let me save that back out, hit refresh, and there we've only got our black and our chrome now available. So that's one example of a loop. Product variants is a common use for loops. Product images is another. Within Shopify you can upload a number of different images for a product, and you can use a for loop to output those as well. Another one is linked lists. Now we have a linked list in operation here. It's our home, catalog, blog, about us links at the top there, and I just wanted to show you that in the include file that I use for the header. Here it is. Now this again, I'm just going to highlight the for loop for you. and what it says there, for link in linklists.main-menu.links, let's output the li followed by the href, and then once we've looped over them all, we'll finish by closing our end for. Now, if we work from the right hand side backwards, we're saying for every link that's part of the main menu set of links in the linked lists, so that's the global name for all of our linked lists, then output the URL here and the title there. So again, that's another way that we can use a for loop in our output, in our themes. There's a couple of other things worth noting. You can actually stop a for loop carrying on after a certain time. So let me show you how that might work. In our index page here, I have the front page collection, which is in the admin, and I output the products that are contained within it. And what I can do is I can limit the number of products that I output. There's actually 2 products in there at the moment, so let me show you where they are. If I just go to the home page here, you'll see that we've got the edible coffee cup and the handmade tamper. Let's go and add some more to that just very, very quickly. Where are my collections? There we go. So front page, and I would like to add products. Yes, I'd like the mustache mug and the coffee grinder. Right, now if I go back to my theme and I refresh that home page, they all now appear in sequence. Okay, but what if I only actually want to have 2 appear? Well, I can use the limit clause here. So I type limit with a colon and then 2, and I save that out. And I go back, and now I've only got 2. There's a couple of other things you can do as well using the loops. Now what we can do, we can say if for loop dot first, we want to do something different with our first product, and then we want all the other products to carry on as normal, else, and then before we end our loop we just need to close our end if statement, and I'll explain this in a little more detail in a moment. Okay, so if it's our for loop dot first, let's output, instead of an h2, let's make it an h1. Okay, and instead of the description, we're just going to output some text here. This is a really great product. You have to buy it. So what we're saying is, if it's the first time that we're going around our loop, let's output this particular block of markup. Otherwise, if it's not, then let's use this block of markup instead. Okay, let's have a look. Hopefully that's worked. Okay, as you can see, the coffee grinder was the first one in the collection, and its output this is an H1. It's slightly bigger, and it's got the block of markup here that we specified. But the edible coffee cup has used the original set of markup that we wanted. Let's just go back, take off the limit clause to show you that that will actually work for all of the items in the collection, apart from the first one, which will be different. And there we go. Okay, this is a great place to go to find out more about loops and what you can do, and that's the cheat sheet by Mark Dunkley. I've looked at this before. You can see things here. This explains some of the details about limiting and offsetting. Offsetting is where you can start your loop from a certain point within it. So maybe not the first one, you might want to start it at the second item, things like that. You can also check out the Shopify theme documentation, which is docs.shopify.com/themes. They're really, really useful things to do in your themes. You'll often use for loops for outputting product images and variants and collections, all those kind of things. So it's worth spending a couple of minutes to see how you can manipulate those, and this is a great place to start. Okay, that's about it for loops. Hope you found that useful, but if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch via email. My address is Keir, that's Keir, @shopify.com, or you can find me on Twitter, where my handle is @KeirWhitaker. Thanks a lot for your time. Cheers.